Good morning, I'm Pratap Singh Gaekwad and welcome to another edition of the Buggy Khana. This morning we come to you from the lawns of the Uday Vilas in Udaipur. We are at the Oberoi Concours, the Elegance, and I'm going to take you through this entire event. While we're here, I'm going to introduce you to some of the owners of these gorgeous cars and at the same time also introduce you to some of the people that put in the effort to restore them and bring them to this condition. So please follow me and enjoy the ride. Good afternoon, sir.
How do you do?
Good. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Buggy Khana. Another gorgeous one. You keep pulling them out. So, could you tell us a little bit about this car, the make, model to begin with?
So this is an early XK120, which is the car that was launched in 1949. It wasn't meant to be a production model like this, but the engine was so successful, the body is so pure that it became on. The 3.4 litre engine, twin overhead camshaft is what was till I think maybe Mark 9, they had the same engine. In Le Mans, the XK120 was raced. At one point in time was the fastest car in the world. It crossed 100 miles per hour and it's won several races. It had important drivers like Sir Sterling Moss, etc.
And she's been with you for quite a while, I believe.
Yes, I love her. So I've had her since 1993.
Right.
And 92 actually. So it's now 30 plus years. And I discovered her in Mumbai when I went to visit a friend. And I finally was happy and lucky to get it. And so she's an Indian car, had interesting racing history. It's been raced in Italy. Okay. It's been raced in England. Been raced in Mumbai.
So how did that happen? She's an Indian car, but she was being raced abroad.
So back in the day, the first owner used to take it there in the summer,
Okay.
race it there, bring it back. And also, I came out with a book about it, and we called it the Globe-Trotting Jaguar.
Right.
Because one of the previous owners, they have a family business in Kenya. So when they went to Kenya, they took the car with them.
Oh, wow.
And it came back from Kenya. It's had an interesting history.
So obviously she's been fairly well loved throughout her.
Thank you for saying that, because that is, if you're a car lover, you feel bad if it goes over a bump. So you want to take care of all your cars, and yes, for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, she's in pristine condition right now.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You presented extremely, extremely well. And what is she like? The driving pleasure?
Let's put it this way. If I was to equate it to a modern car, I drove a Ferrari 430 in Switzerland recently. I loved it so much. Then I asked for a test drive in a Ferrari 296. The 296 didn't do it for me.
Right.
It was just too much electronics. Everything was controlled by the computer. Whereas in a car of this kind, firstly, you feel the road.
Yeah.
The sense of speed. You're low, so it's almost like a go-kart.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling. Yeah.
This has a very low driving position as well, right?
Absolutely.
Your feet are fairly straight as you sit into it, is it?
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
it doesn't have much leg room. So fortunately, I'm not a tall guy, so I have no problem. But that's one of the reasons the later versions,
Right.
they made the inside more comfortable.
Just right.
And especially for the US market, which is the biggest market.
Right.
But as a result, the car became more squat. So, you have a trade-off between the pure lines
Correct.
and not such a big cabin space, but then Bugattis don't have much cabin space either.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Gum. Thank
Pleasure to have you back on the Buggy
you.
Khana.
Absolutely delighted. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So welcome to the Buggy Khana.
I know, but what a location to have it right on the
Stunning.
lake in Udaipur.
Stunning.
I mean, can't even imagine it.
The lake view and the company that these cars are in.
We have the best spot, and nothing like roadsters and convertibles. I mean, just going with the perfect day.
So tell me about your car. What's the backstory for it first?
So this is a Daimler Dart. It's a very, very rare car because they made only 2,500 of these, and it's a 1959 car. It's got a fiberglass body. So fiberglass back in that time was very rare.
Yeah.
Secondly, it's got a V8 engine. So the moment I heard about a car which is a fiberglass car with a V8 engine, I was like, I have to buy
You're
it.
going to be flying.
And my father was very scared. Then I got to know it's got all 4 disc brakes.
Right.
So even new cars still today,
Yeah.
some of them only come with 2 drums and 2 discs. So imagine a car which is so powerful, all 4 disc brakes, and this is the only one in India. So it's a very, very rare car, definitely.
So that's also what makes it special, right? I mean, globally limited number, not that many, but only one in India.
Absolutely.
And we are living in this Indian ecosystem, and can't get another one. And how long has she been with you?
I think it's been more than about 14, 15 years. So I restored her a long time back. This was done up in 2011. It's a 20 or 13-year-old restoration.
Okay.
And it was done for the Cartier show in Delhi.
Right.
And that time I was lucky enough to win the prize. And then I've just kept it the way she is. But I drive her pretty often. I've driven her to Shimla, to Jodhpur, to Delhi, so on and off. And that's the best part. I mean, I have to drive a car. And the only way to maintain a car is if you keep driving it. If you put it in a garage and then they'll not work. Even with a new car, if you have a new car, you will leave her for 2 months. Something or the other will go wrong with that. So these old cars, so they need more care, and you know about that.
I couldn't agree with you more on that point. Driving is the number one reason why I would also buy a car.
Absolutely.
And like you said, I fully understand that if you don't use them, that's when the problems start.
But let me show you the heart of the car.
Please.
So imagine a small little car with a 8-cylinder engine.
Yeah. And lightweight, right?
Very lightweight. It's a Hemi. So this is technically the first British engine, which is a V8 Hemi. Otherwise, they had the normal 4 cylinders and all that.
Right.
And they made this engine to compete with the bigger American cars.
Yeah.
And this was done by a person called Edward Tuner, who was a guy behind Triumph motorcycles. So he designed the engine. And then they carried on this engine in the Daimler Sovereign, the Daimler V8.
Bigger ones.
Bigger cars as well.
Right.
But it's a lovely engine.
Reliable.
Fairly reliable. I mean, it hasn't troubled me as yet, so pretty reliable. There's again old 2012 restoration, so just cleaned her up and painted the bonnet and all. So no major work. Otherwise, we didn't pull out the engine, just cleaned up the plugs and everything.
Right.
But rest, it's been like this. Let's try and start her.
Yeah, please. Let's hear the V8 sound.
I haven't started her since the morning, so fingers crossed.
No pressure. You're not being judged right now, so.
I hope so. Not bad. First start of the day.
Not bad. Lovely.
But that's the trick, keep driving her. So I haven't started her since yesterday, and the first go is right now, except the RPM is dancing. settle in.
Yeah. No, great.
It sounds beautiful. I mean, that's the best part about this car.
Right.
It's a lovely sounding car.
Brilliant. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
I mean, it's a pleasure to see this car. It's a pleasure to also be in the same category as you.
Absolutely.
Which is great. I think all the good cars are in this category.
So all of us are going to win.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Pleasure. Thank you very much. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good
Welcome
morning.
to the Buggy Khana.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
It's a privilege to have you on our show.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I mean, you have the most gorgeous motorcycle over here, and
yes, here, yes.
a winner in my eyes all the way.
And she's been a winner on the track also.
Right. So could we hear a bit more about that story? I mean, when did you first get her? What was the racing that you did?
This was in 1963 when Mr. Sarif Jian of Chennai
Ji.
had got this vehicle brand new. And he raced it at Royal Gaon in 1963. And that is the first time I saw this vehicle. I was 13 years old.
Okay.
And I said, I must have her one day. In 1975, my brother modified a Jaguar and they went racing to Sholavaram, Madras.
Right.
That was Madras that time. And they met Sharif Dayan and Dayan said, oh, I want to get rid of this old Honda of mine. So when they came back, they told me that this vehicle was for sale. I said, well, let's go immediately. And I bought it in 76. It was a totally disassembled vehicle.
Right.
Because I think they had broken a piston inside or something, so it was all out.
Right.
So then my brother Sherik and another friend of mine, Ashraf Sheikh, they put her together. And of course we had little problems before because we didn't know anything much about this vehicle. Like they had put a 5-speed gearbox in this vehicle.
Right.
And it gave some trouble. It got stuck in 4th gear. We're racing in June in 77. Then those things were sorted out and she ran beautifully for the next 3-4 years that I raced her. I finished first in the 250cc class in Bombay and Juhu. And in the 50 lap Grand Prix, same place, Air India Grand Prix that was. There were 8 places and that is the last place which I got.
Okay.
Yeah. And in the race there were about, say, 750s, 350s, all Yamaha, big brothers.
Right. So you were racing with different size.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though yours is a 250, but you were racing as a 350.
Yes.
And how does she like to ride, and how does she handle?
You know, she is beautiful in handling.
Yeah.
Because the same chassis, the same frame, they have used for the for these 4-cylinder Hondas, 500cc, 250cc. And even the 6-cylinder which they came out later on 500cc. The frame, basic frame was same. This is the basic frame.
Okay.
See, Mr. Dayan bought this vehicle in UK and gave it to Titan Brothers.
Right.
To do her up totally for racing. She has got a fantastic camshaft. That's a Yoshimura camshaft.
Okay.
And it has got 5-speed gearbox now, as I told you.
Right.
It has got this electronic ignition from that time, specially made for this vehicle.
Right. And all these fairings and things were also...
It's original.
It's all original.
Everything is original.
Did you have any hairy moments with this?
I had a fall.
You did?
Yeah. At Sholavaram.
At what speed was that?
It was not much because it was on the corner. You know, those days we never got good tires. We used to race on 318 CH.
Yeah.
It was the only make that was making these 18 size tires.
Right.
And that time there was no internet or anything like that. So hardly any information was, coming across.
Right.
So I was chasing a 250 YAM, TZ, and then I had a Porsche.
Right. I mean, you're right. In those days, everything must have been a struggle, right? To put
Yes.
these things together because
Yes,
nothing was easily
nothing,
available,
nothing.
no information
No information.
like you get today.
Yes. Today it's become a child's play now.
Correct.
And today's riders get everything ready.
Yeah.
We had to do our own thing. This is my baby.
Your baby is she's
My-
beautiful, and I mean, you maintained her so well. I hope she has a very special place where you keep her and a nice blanket over her in the evenings and things like that.
She is kept in a nice box with a tube light inside,
Right.
so that in the night also you can put on the light and have a look at her.
But it's in the garage still.
It's in my garage, yes. That's where I work.
And we have been both conspiring together to sort of elevate that spot from
Yeah.
the garage into your living room.
Yes, yes.
So,
That now I hope my wife agrees to that.
yeah, well, we have a strategy for that as well. So I hope to come over one day to your place and
Please, sir.
see her in the living room.
Please, sir, you'll be most happy to see you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your time, and she's absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having her.
Thank you.
Thank you.